Good morning, children. Welcome to chemistry class. In the previous classes, we discussed the behavior of electromagnetic radiation. You have learned that electromagnetic radiation possesses both wave nature as well as particle nature. That is, you studied the dual nature of electromagnetic radiation in the previous classes. Because of this dual nature of electromagnetic radiation, most of the phenomena of light are successfully explained. The fact which was not successfully explained by wave theory is atomic spectrum also. In addition to black body radiation and photoelectric effect, the spectra of atoms also could not be explained by wave theory of light. Let us discuss the atomic spectrum in this class. You might have observed the formation of a rainbow in the rainy season. You find 7 colors in the rainbow. If a beam of white light is passed through a prism made with glass and the radiations emitting from the prism are analyzed or captured on a photographic film or screen, you will find the same colors which were observed in the rainbow. They are from violet to red, 7 colors. Violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. These 7 colors were found in the rainbow as well as the beam of light which is passed through the prism. This phenomenon of splitting of white light when passed through the prism into its constituent colors is known as the dispersion of light. Due to the dispersion, the constituent frequencies of the visible radiation are separated. That means we can know that the visible radiation is a collection of several frequencies from violet color to red color, which range from the wavelength 3800 angstrom units to 7600 angstrom units. That is 380 nanometers to 760 nanometers. This kind of collection of or group of frequencies is known as spectrum. Spectrum is a collection of or group of certain frequencies of electromagnetic radiation. If you observe the colors in the rainbow or the colors obtained when a beam of white light is passed through the prism, the colors vary from violet to red or red to violet continuously. One color gradually fades off to form another color. For example, if you observe this, the red color gradually fades off and changes to orange color. Orange color gradually fades off and give yellow color. Yellow color gradually fades off and give green color. Green color gradually fades off to give blue color and so on. There are no separating boundaries between one color and the other color. The reason is the radiations of all the frequencies from 760 nanometers to 380 nanometers are found in this light emitting from the prism by the passage of a beam of white light. This kind of spectrum is known as a continuous spectrum. Continuous spectrum contains all the radiations from the smallest value to the largest value. You studied the electromagnetic spectrum, which ranges from cosmic rays to radio waves. But we can't see all these radiations. We can see the radiations in the visible region only, that is from violet to red only. In the visible region, the continuous spectrum contains the continuous bands from violet color to red color. In this spectrum, one color gradually changes into other color. There are no separating boundaries between one color and the other color. On the other hand, if some frequencies are missed in this continuous spectrum, that kind of spectrum is called a discontinuous spectrum. In the discontinuous spectrum, some frequencies will be missed. Such kind of spectrum is not continuous, so it is called the discontinuous spectrum. The discontinuous spectra are of two types. One is the band spectrum and the other is the line spectrum. In the band spectrum, there are some gaps between the series of certain radiations to another series of certain radiations. Some gaps are found, that is, some frequencies are missed in this discontinuous spectrum. The band spectrum contains bands of colors in which there are sharp edges to colors, sharp edges to the bands. Whereas in a continuous spectrum, there are no sharp edges to the colored bands. In the discontinuous spectrum, that is in the band spectrum, sharp edges are found between one band and the other band. In the line spectrum, only discrete lines are observed. That is, large gaps were found between the radiation of one frequency to the radiation of other frequency. Only lines are observed instead of continuous bands or continuity of the spectrum. This kind of spectra are called line spectra. The continuous spectrum is due to the emission of radiation by hot solids. The hot solids emit continuous spectrum. For example, sun emits a continuous spectrum. The incandescent lamp emits a continuous spectrum. Incandescent lamp means the lamp which gives light by heating to high temperature. The tungsten filament in the lamp glows. It is heated to a temperature around 3000 degrees Celsius and it emits the light. It contains all the radiations from violet to red in the visible region. If a beam of these radiations is observed or analyzed through the prism, we get all the colors in the rainbow, that is from violet to red. Violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red colors can be obtained. So, hot solids like incandescent lamps give the continuous spectrum. Whereas the discontinuous spectra are given by the gaseous substances. The band spectra are due to molecules of the substance, whereas the line spectra are due to the atoms of the substance. Band spectra are due to molecules and the line spectra are due to atoms. Okay. Molecules give the band spectrum and atoms give the line spectra. The line spectra can be further classified into two types: the emission line spectra and absorption line spectra. Emission line spectra and absorption line spectra. The emission line spectra is due to the emission of radiations of certain frequencies by the hot gases. When the gases are heated or when electric discharge is passed through the gases, they emit radiations of certain frequencies, and those frequencies emitted, if passed through the prism, are analyzed and they are observed in the spectroscope. A device which is useful for analyzing the radiations or the frequencies releasing from the bodies can be observed by using this spectroscope. The spectroscope was developed in 1859 by Robert Bunsen and G.K. Kirchhoff. It consists of a prism, a glass prism, to analyze or to disperse the radiations, and the radiations of different frequencies will be refracted through the prism through different angles. The radiations of different frequencies will be refracted through the prism through different angles. For example, when a white light is passed through the prism, the high wavelength radiations, that is the red colored radiations, are refracted through small angles, whereas the small wavelength radiations like a violet color refracted through higher angles. Because of that, the constituent frequencies of these radiations will be separated out, and these radiations can be observed through a microscope in the spectroscope. A microscope is arranged to observe the refracted radiations. The spectroscope in which a microscope is replaced by a photographic film is known as spectrograph. That means the radiations will be captured on the photographic film. Instead of observing through the microscope, radiations can be captured on the photographic film. The film obtained by capturing these radiations is said to be the spectrogram. So with this spectroscope, the radiations can be analyzed. When the radiations obtained from hot bodies are passed through prism and the radiations are analyzed, the scientists observed only some lines instead of the continuous bands or discontinuous bands. This kind of spectra is known as the line spectra. The pattern of lines observed in the spectrum depends upon the nature of the gas taken. It depends upon the nature of the gas taken. Different gases give different patterns of lines. Different gases give different patterns of lines. No two elements give the same pattern of lines. So the spectra is the characteristic of the element. Spectra can be considered as line spectra or atomic spectra can be considered as the fingerprint of the element. Different people have different patterns of fingerprints. Because of that, the police used the fingerprints in the identification of persons. If a robbery took place, the police first take the fingerprints. If the fingerprints of the thieves, which are stored in their police station, will be compared with these fingerprints. If the thief is an old person, that is, if he was already recorded in the police records, then he can be found easily. No two persons will have the same kind of fingerprints. In the same manner, no two elements will give the same pattern of atomic spectra or same pattern of lines. So, atomic spectra can be considered as the fingerprints of the elements, right? Next, let us go to another kind of spectra known as absorption spectra. Absorption spectra are also the line spectra. When white light containing all the frequencies in the visible region are passed through cold gases, these gases absorb certain radiations. The cold gases absorb radiations of certain definite frequencies and they transmit all the other frequencies. Then we get colored bands having some dark lines, colored bands having some dark lines in the spectrum. Whereas in the emission spectrum, the bright lines with different colors depending on the radiations released are obtained on dark background, whereas in the absorption spectrum, the dark lines are observed on bright background of different colors. The radiations which are absorbed by the cold body are missed in the radiations captured in the spectroscope. So this kind of spectra are the absorption spectra. The interesting thing is, for a given element, the frequencies of the radiations which are emitted in the emission spectra are exactly same as the frequencies of radiations which were obtained in the absorption spectra. That is, the frequencies of the bright lines in the emission spectra in the dark background are same as the frequencies of the dark lines in the bright background. That means radiations absorbed by the element are same as the radiations emitted by the elements. Okay? As the pattern of lines is characteristic of the element, this atomic spectra can be used for the identification of elements in the compounds in qualitative analysis. In the qualitative analysis, that is in the identification of the composition or the elements present in a given compound, an unknown compound, the spectra will be useful. Whether the elements are in the form of compound or whether the elements are in the gaseous state or in the atomic state, they give the same pattern of lines. For example, sodium vapors, the sodium metal and a solution of sodium chloride or solid sodium chloride give the same kind of pattern of lines because of the sodium atom. So, the spectra are useful in the identification of elements in the qualitative analysis. In the qualitative analysis, we conduct the flame test to identify the elements present in the unknown compound. The flame test approximately gives the compound. Different elements will give different lights in the flame. When the substance is taken in a loop of platinum and it is kept in a non-luminous flame of the Bunsen burner, they give different colors to the flame depending on the nature of the element. For example, lithium gives red color to the flame, sodium gives yellow color to the flame, potassium gives violet color or lilac color to the flame, calcium gives brick red color, strontium gives crimson red color, barium gives apple green color, and copper gives green colored light. You might have observed the flame in the kitchen. If a copper vessel is heated on the flame in the kitchen, you might have observed that the flame will be in the green color. Green colored flame will be obtained when copper metal is heated on the stove. So, why these substances emit the radiations? Why these substances absorb only certain radiations? When a gaseous substance is heated, the molecules break into atoms and the atoms are excited or atoms are energized by gaining the energy obtained from the heat. But the atoms cannot be in the excited state for a long time. When the number of atoms went into the excited state reaches a certain point, or after a few seconds, the excited atoms start emitting the radiations and come back to the lowest energetic state known as ground state by emitting the radiations in the form of photons of certain frequencies. And these radiations are observed in the atomic spectrum in the form of bright lights on dark background. In the same way, when a cold gas is kept in the path of the radiations emitting from an incandescent lamp, that is white light, by gaining of certain frequencies, the atoms get excited to higher energy states. Because of the gaining of only certain definite frequencies, those frequencies will be missed in the light transmitted by those elements. Because of that, dark lines are observed on bright background. The radiant energy by the gases, either to emit or to the absorption, take place only certain definite frequencies, that is radiant energy, that is absorbed energy or emitted energy, is quantized. The emitted or absorbed energy is not continuous. That is, radiations of all the frequencies will not be absorbed or emitted by the hot gases or cold gases. Only radiations of certain frequencies are absorbed and emitted. Okay, based on this, the quantization of energy is once again confirmed by the atomic spectrum. Quantization of radiant energy is confirmed by the atomic spectrum. Now let us go to hydrogen spectrum, spectrum of hydrogen. Hydrogen, when heated or electricity is passed through hydrogen gas, molecules of hydrogen break into atoms of hydrogen. The hydrogen atoms get excited to higher energetic state, and it was observed that in the visible region hydrogen emits four different frequencies in the visible region. Johann Balmer in the year 1884 observed four lines at definite frequencies or wavelengths, and he named those as H alpha, H beta, H gamma and H delta. H alpha line is observed at a wavelength of 656.3 nanometers. 656.3 nanometers in the red colored region. In the red colored region, that is the radiation which has 656.3 nanometers of wavelength will be in the red color in electromagnetic radiation. H beta, another line, is observed at a wavelength of 486.1 nanometers, that is 4861 angstrom units. It is observed in blue-green color light. A bluish green colored light is observed. That line is named as H beta. H gamma is observed at 434.0 nanometers, that is 4340 angstrom units in blue color. In blue color. And another line is observed at 410.2 nanometers in violet color. These four lines are observed by Balmer. He analyzed these values. He analyzed the wavelengths of these frequencies emitted by hydrogen atom, and he established one equation to find out these values. That equation is known as Balmer's equation. According to that equation, 1 by lambda of the radiation, that is the reciprocal of the radiation, which is known as wave number, that is equal to a constant 109677 into 1 by 2 square minus 1 by n square. 1 by 2 square minus 1 by n square, where n is equal to 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. When we substitute n is equal to 3 in this equation, we get this wavelength. If n is equal to 4 is substituted, this wavelength is obtained. If n is equal to 5 is substituted, the wavelength of H gamma is obtained. If n is equal to 6 is substituted, the wavelength of H delta is obtained. So he established the relation known as Balmer's equation by analyzing the wavelengths of various radiations emitted from hydrogen atom. The radiations absorbed by hydrogen atom will also have the same wavelengths. Soon after, in the year 1906, another scientist, Lyman, observed a series of lines in the ultraviolet region. A series of lines in the ultraviolet region were observed by Lyman in the year 1906. A series of 4 lines were observed in the visible region by Balmer in the year 1884, and the series is known as Balmer series, and the series of lines or pattern of lines observed in the ultraviolet region in the year 1906 by Lyman is known as Lyman series in order to honor the discoverer of the lines. Later on in the year 1908, Paschen, another scientist, observed a series of lines in the infrared region. A series of lines were observed by Paschen in the infrared region, and that series is known as Paschen series. And soon after, in the year 1922, another scientist, Brackett, observed another series of lines in the infrared region, and that series is known as Brackett series. And in the year 1924, another series of lines were observed by Pfund, P-F-U-N-D, Pfund, in the infrared region. All these series are the invisible. These are not in the invisible regions. Only the lines in the Balmer series are in the invisible region. The Lyman series, that is the pattern of lines in the ultraviolet region, and 3 series of lines in the infrared region known as Paschen series, Brackett series and Pfund series are not visible to the eye. These are in the invisible region, that is either in the ultraviolet region or infrared region. Okay. So in order to find the wavelengths of these lines in all these regions, that is in the Lyman series, Paschen series, Brackett series and Pfund series, a scientist, Ridge, extended the Balmer's equation, modified the Balmer's equation. According to Ridge, the wavelength or reciprocal of wavelength 1 by lambda is equal to nu bar, that is equal to 109,677 into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. This equation is called Rydberg's equation, or this can also be written as RH into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. Here RH is equal to Rydberg's constant. Its value is 109,677 centimeter inverse. RH is equal to Rydberg's constant, whose value is 109,677 centimeter inverse. Okay. In this equation, for the lines in the ultraviolet region, that is in the Lyman series, for Lyman series, n1 is equal to 1 and n2 is equal to 2, 3, 4 and so on. n1 is equal to 1 and n2 is equal to 2, 3, 4 and so on are substituted, we get the wavelengths of various lines in the Lyman series of hydrogen atom. In the Balmer series, we already discussed that n1 is equal to 2 and n2 is equal to 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. A Paschen series. For Paschen series, n1 is equal to 3 and n2 is 4, 5, 6 and so on. We get the wavelengths of various lines in the Paschen series. In order to find the wavelengths of lines in the bracket series, n1 is equal to 4 and n2 is equal to 5, 6, 7 and so on. For Pfund series, n1 is equal to 5 and n2 is equal to 6, 7, 8 and so on. The scientists very recently discovered another series of pattern of lines in the far infrared region. The series is known as Humphrey series. To honor the scientist Humphrey Davy, it was named as Humphrey series, for which n1 is equal to 6 and n2 is equal to 7, 8, 9 and so on. All these are in the infrared region, this is in the ultraviolet region and Balmer series in the visible region. Okay. These are the values for hydrogen atom, for which RH is equal to 109677 into, not into, centimeter inverse. RH is equal to 109677 centimeter inverse. To apply this equation, that is Rydberg's equation, for any species containing one electron, that is a hydrogen-like species, this equation is modified as 1 by lambda is equal to nu bar, that is equal to R into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. This is applicable for any single electron species like hydrogen atom, He plus or Li2 plus, etc. He2 plus, He plus, Li2 plus and hydrogen, all these possess one electron only. For the species containing a single electron, the Rydberg's equation is 1 by lambda is equal to nu bar, that is equal to R into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square, where R is equal to RH into Z square. Where R is equal to RH into Z square. What is Z here? Z is the atomic number of the element. For hydrogen, Z is equal to 1. For He plus, Z is equal to 2. For Li2 plus, Z is equal to 3. Okay. So this is about atomic spectrum. Let us continue the lesson in the next class.